Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's show. We are up at our farm in Minnesota and we're going to be doing some bow hunting. And what we're actually going to be targeting is does only. We have a tremendous population of does on the property. Way too many that I feel, the neighbors feel. When you start seeing like a 1-to-4, 1-to-6 ratio, you know you have way too many. You know, it's early season, so there's a lot of tricks to hunting deer early in the year like this. The big advantage that we have is obviously it's opening week of bow season. So, you know, the deer don't know a lot what's going on. There hasn't been a lot of scent in the woods. We did put up some new tree stands and did some work ahead of time. Of course, we were up here for the last month and a half putting food plots in, getting everything ready to rock and roll. We got our good friend Pat Magalano from Meg's Custom Rods. Hey Pat, so you're a Uper, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and in your part of the UP, you can't actually even shoot does, can you? You were telling me the other day that you have never actually seen a buck in the woods.
Never.
That's interesting, very interesting. Well, I'm not gonna guarantee it this week, but I'm gonna say that the chances of you not seeing a buck on this property are pretty slim. Hey, I'll tell you what, we also got our good friend Jim, Jumpin' Jimmy. You know what, everybody knows Jim from Archery. We were over at his place, we had a great time. You know what, we did a little turkey hunting. Jim got one, I blew it, of course. So you think about this, you know, like a new bow costs $1,000 to almost $2,000. To spend another $30 on, with all the other accessories you have on there, for the chances of not knowing that your pin's right where it needs to go, to me it's, you know, it's no brainer for sure. But we have the passion, and I know that you guys and gals do too, so hang on to your heinies, we're going for a ride.
Well, let me tell you a little something about me. When it's Saturday night, I need to blow off some steam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I've been rolling in since o'clock in Monday morning. From the end of the week, I'm about to blow. We're walking to the honky tonk like a pack of wolves now. Order up a round of shots and it's away we go. Switch up, throw down, hold down, get down. Order up another round of shots. Run, get drunk, get some, have fun. Get into some trouble, baby, like in a night. I'm a Jim Beam drinking beer.
Ready, what a night. I'll tell you what, day number 2, we're up here trying to kill some does. You know, the whole thing is there's way too many does like we were talking about before, and it was really a good night. I myself did not get a shot, a couple of the other guys didn't, but everybody saw deer. And so right now we've got a couple of deer down. We're gonna go try to see if we can find them. The problem is when it gets this warm and you don't have a lot of time, you gotta get on these deer right away. You gotta get them gutted out, you gotta get them skun out, and then you gotta get them quartered out and somehow be able to chill them down. Either put them in a cooler if you're lucky enough to have a freezer to chill that meat down and at least let it sit for a little bit till it stiffens up. So we're gonna go see what happened here. I've wanted to do this now for a couple of years because we have so many does, and the doe population is totally out of control. They're eating everything in sight, and you know, they're predicting a very bad winter this year. And you know, a lot of these deer, obviously if there's not enough food, they're not gonna make it. And you know, there's nothing wrong with shooting does. So let's go see if we can find some of these.
You know what else eats everything in sight?
Me. I eat everything.
I'm a Jim Beam drinking beer. Sing a la 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 dance machine. Been a hell of a week and I need to blow off some steam. Got to blow off some steam for blow up. I got to blow off some steam for.
You know, this is actually the fun part too about hunting too, is really trying to figure out and to try to find the deer.
There's the arrow.
Look at the blood. Oh,
That's why it didn't come out.
boy,
Well, I seriously love you.
You know what? Boy, I can't wait to become a CEO of a company so I can gut everybody's deer.
Saturday night I need to blow off some steam. It's Saturday night I need to blow off some steam. It's Saturday night I need to blow off some steam.
Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. Hey, I'll tell you what, when you're hunting land like we're hunting this week, there is a lot of beggar's lice, and that is something that when you're walking through the terrain, it absolutely sticks to you like no tomorrow. And Levi, where the heck were you? Look at these pants. You're not wearing these tonight, are you?
I'm gonna try to.
You are. I had an old glove, which is really kind of a rough mitt. Actually, it's a mitt, not a glove. And it works out really good for taking them off. Jacotherm. Let's see how it works. Now look at, that stuff is like,
It's
that
dense.
stuff does not come off.
Put a little more pressure on it.
Okay.
They were 34, 32. Now they're going to be a 34, 36. They're going to be a little longer.
Look at this stuff just flying off. Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week, again brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet.
So we got a stand here that we put up in the spring, and it's a lockdown ladder stand. I sat in it last night and I saw a ton of deer coming from every direction. I even had a couple stop at me broadside like 8 yards. Problem was it's not cleared out enough. There's no shooting lanes. So we're gonna go down in there right now quick, cut some of this stuff out with this saw, and it's electric steel. I haven't used it yet, but Larry said it's the cat's hiney, so. We're gonna head down there, cut these down, and get this thing ready, and hopefully I can sit in here tonight if we're quiet enough. So the best way to do this is just to have the guy that was sitting go up in the tree stand just like he was, and have a guy on the ground with the saw, and just direct which trees need to go down, just to make sure you open up those shooting pads that you didn't have the night before, or a week before, whatever. So I'm kind of bummed out I have to do this today in my church clothes, but actually it's 90 degrees out, and I didn't bring shorts, so I had to cut my pants off in the kitchen with a bread knife. Hey guys, I'm Levi from Baronet Blinds. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to show you the Hi-Fi blind that we make. This is the only blind currently in our line that has see-through technology, which means that it has a 360-degree view from the inside, but nothing can see in through from the outside. Super strong oxhide fabric. It's the strongest fabric that we make. It's on a food plot right now. Once you get it folded out, you always want to make sure that you find one of your sides first, and then just start going around the blind and pulling the rest of your sides out. And then when you get all your sides pulled out, you're going to use this big D-shaped door, and you're just going to go inside and pop your roof up. Then you just put in your heavy-duty ground stakes and you're ready to hunt.
Oh, well, you're like at a freaking 20-degree angle.
I just don't like to complain about everything like you do. You know, the interesting part too is when you're hunting these bluff areas is that it always seems to be that about 80% of the deer, when they go to die, they always go down into the ravines. You know, we were tracking this deer for probably a good 250 yards, and it was riding on the top of the ridges there. You know, so really it was a teamwork effort. That deer ended up going 437 yards from where we shot it. Incredible tracking job by everybody. But now the problem is it's getting warm, and now we got to get it out of there. You know what? So the best way to get it out of there, obviously we gutted it out. And I want to talk to you guys about, this is something that I did, and I wish we would have filmed this, is I always carry a container of salt with me. And as soon as I gut that animal out, the flies were absolutely everywhere, all over it. So what I did is I take that salt and I spread it all over inside the body cavity in there. You know what? And it's amazing how them flies back right off of that and want nothing to do with that. So it's a good thing to carry, and then when you get it back up to wherever you're up to your house or your cabin or wherever you have some water, you can always just wash it back down. That salt isn't going to hurt anything at all. You're just, again, trying to keep them flies from laying eggs on there. It is kind of gruesome, you know, but that is a great way to protect that meat on them animals like that. So what we did is basically, you know what, we carried that deer out of there. So we put a branch through the legs right there in front and back, and put a heavier branch going through there and carried it out of there. You know, it's a lot better doing it that way versus dragging that deer on the ground right there. So it worked out really good. Hey, again, you know what? Them guys did an awesome job finding that deer, and that's really what it's all about, teamwork. It's always good to have different sets of eyes, because it was kind of amazing on this tracking job that one guy really got hot for a little bit. Then all of a sudden he would actually walk over some of the blood, and somebody else would come back around and pick up on it. So it's interesting to see the differences as far as, you know, how it goes when you're tracking the deer like this. Hey everybody, it is our Leroy lunchtime, and today what we've got going here is actually, it is breakfast time, and we have got some bacon, and this is some elk bacon that we had made up from our good friends over at Leroy's. It's a great way to start the day, and it's real simple to cook. Matter of fact, I'm going to hand it off to our good friend Jim from Archery. Jim, you've been the cook all week here. Go ahead and take care of it, my friend. I got things to do.
Elk bacon.
Pretty good.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, it almost tastes like,
Piece of ham.
yeah. Similar, I don't know, almost tastes like turkey bacon a little bit.
You know,
Yeah,
I've never had turkey.
not as crispy, but
We go on.
I don't know.
You know, a big thing is really tree stand safety, and I've got some stands that I've had up probably for about 6-7 years. I know a lot of manufacturers only allow you to have that stand up for maybe only 2 years, but I've got some stands up that I've had up for 6 or 7 years, and I'm starting to replace stands. And you know what? One thing I have learned, I'm spending a little bit more money for a couple different reasons. I want, for one thing, safety. Second thing is that I want a stand that's quiet when I'm going up and down in it. I don't want to stand with some of these cheaper stands. They're constantly, you know, when you're going up them, they're so loose, they're rattling, making a lot of noise. The trees moving back and forth, they're making a lot of noise on that. The third thing, and it's a very important thing, I love to sit. My time is limited, so when I do get to hunt, I want to sit as long as I can. So comfort is a huge thing right there. But when you look at the quality of how these stands are built, they're very impressive. So we're going to throw it on top of the Ranger here, and away we go. Hey, Jimmy, you ready to get this done? Definitely an easy way to, you know, get your tree stand in and out. We've got a pretty good, this is going to be an easy one because it's going right on the edge of a field. Good. All right, let's go put his tree stand in. tree stand safety is so important, and it's so simple to have a safety rope like we have. We try to keep one of these on every one of our stands. If everybody wore a safety harness like we have on here and wore a safety line going up and down the trees and wore it all the while they're up there, it would cut down tree stand accidents down to a bare minimum. My life is worth more than what this $40 rope cost, I can tell you that much. And again, just the comfort and really not thinking about when you're up in the tree about falling out of the tree and getting hurt. You know, a lot of people, what happens too is like me, you get a little bit older, you get up in the tree, and you know what, that sun is on you, it's quiet, you're not seeing a lot of deer, but you love being out there. And all of a sudden you fall asleep and down you go, and you could be paralyzed or obviously could get killed. So again, can't talk enough about tree stand safety. You guys, you know I love you guys. I don't want anything to happen to you. So please spend the money, a little extra money, and buy the safety line and get yourself a good vest or a good harness. It's just gonna make my life easier and your life. And remember, you know, a lot of us, we have a lot of responsibility. We have families and we got a lot of things to take care of, and it sure would be a lot harder if we weren't here. So you guys, again, please do me a favor and take care of this. I would definitely not do this without a harness on. No way. This is the scariest part about tree stands right here, putting them up and taking them down. And this is what we're gonna show you. Out with the old and in with the new. So a little different scenario than the tree that we did the last time where there wasn't as many branches. So you need to have something long, a pole, whatever you can get. We're gonna use obviously our pole saw to get them straps around these branches, because I don't want to cut all these branches. Am I catching anything? Jiggle the stand around a little bit. Yep, see how tight it got now? Now we're good. See how tight it's getting against that tree? Perfect. Took us probably about 15-20 minutes with the three of us to get this stand up there. A little bit more of a difficult tree because, again, of the branches, but well worth it. When you look at the comfort of the stand here, I mean, this is as good as it gets right here. Cheers, Stu. Got a bar for your feet. And the other nice part is, too, you want a safety bar in front of you, too, which is kind of nice. Sometimes I put my bow on them, too. Look at that. And you can adjust it to pretty much wherever you want to put it right here. You can adjust the length of it too to come out like this. You know, that's what I like. You know, this stand basically adapts to whatever size of person you are, whatever the style of hunting you like. Just absolutely an awesome stand. So make sure you check out Lockdowns by Rivers Edge Treestands. Man, them guys do an awesome job. Thank you, guys.
You know what? This is what it's really all about, enjoying the outdoors with a lot of great people. And I'll tell you, the last 4 or 5 days, we certainly had a lot of fun, built a lot of memories, and you know what? We certainly ate good, no doubt about that. Hey, we want to thank all of our military men and women for the great service that they have given and continue to give this country. And no doubt, along with all of our firefighters and paramedics, and of course, all of our law enforcement agents for the great service that they also give us. Thank you very much for that. Hey, thank you guys for watching this week's show. Without you guys, we would not have anything, so we really appreciate that. Hey, make sure you guys check out all of our social media avenues, and make sure you guys think about, please, subscribing to our YouTube channel, because that is a big deal for us, so we appreciate that too. Hey, we will see you guys again next week, and remember, like I always say, it is a great day to be alive, and we'll see you guys again down the road.
How's it going, guys? Jaron here. Hey, what do you call a cow that has a twitch? Beef jerky. Hey, huge congrats to T Herbo on winning this week's giveaway. We got some beef jerky here. Mike's Country Meats, best jerky on the planet. Shoot us an email at LarrySmithOutdoors@gmail.com. We'll get this stuff sent out to you. Make sure for the rest of you, you are subscribing to the YouTube channel down below. So make sure you guys are getting on that. And I guess as we always say, it's a great day to be alive. We'll see you next week.